What is up, my friends? Hope everybody's doing well. Wanted to make a video because we just completed the first week of football. So, obviously, rocking Green Bay. I'm a Green Bay fan. So, watching Aaron Rodgers, we'll address the elephant in the room here. Rodgers is out for the season. So, being a Green Bay fan, I had intentions of how I wanted Rodgers to perform or lack thereof for the Jets, and that's just me being the vindictive, ultra fan of Aaron Rodgers. It's kind of like seeing your ex, um, you know, on a date or in a relationship. You just who would want that to go well? So it was kind of weird, and I didn't want him to have a good season. I wanted him to crash and burn, not literally like he did last night, which was just an unbelievable thing that happened. But, it kind of made me think, we put a lot of emphasis when we get excited about something, whether that's whatever it is, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's, somebody or something that we put a lot of emphasis on, and we put basically all of our eggs into that basket, right? And then literally within the first 10 minutes, it's gone. And not only is it gone from that game, it's gone from the entire season. It could be the end of Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's the oldest player in the NFL. He's not getting any younger. Clearly he's not getting any healthier, and he's had some prior injuries as well. So, what do you do? What do you do when you're faced with that? And I can kind of give some context. My good friend, he is a Jets fan. He's a lifelong Jets fan. So obviously in the preseason or in the offseason rather, when they started to talk about Rodgers was going to the Jets, him and I were going back and forth constantly. And I'm just thinking to myself, no way this is going to happen and all this stuff. And then it happens, so he, as a Jets fan, because historically, I mean, you look at their quarterbacks, you look at their seasons, it's just not been great. And they finally get this Hall of Fame franchise quarterback, this rock star, superstar legend, and they go all in on this guy, and then boom, it's gone. So I think that's relatable to a lot of things in life. Like, nothing is ever guaranteed. When something looks great, it could be that it's not even going to happen. It could be that you've been down on your luck, and then you see this bright star come into your life, only to be taken out immediately. I mean, almost immediately, right? So what do you do when you're faced with that sort of backlash? What do you do, right? So for me, when I'm watching that game or when I'm watching any of these sort of instances in life, I think to myself, I have to stick to what I can control, right? I can't control, Aaron Rodgers getting hurt if I'm a Jets fan. I can't control that. What do? I resort back to Zach, and I resort back to these players that have been on the team this whole time and just continue to have hope. What else can you do? So let's translate this into something more palatable. If you guys aren't football fans out there, but what do you do when you have these things outside of your control happen? You have to stick to what you can control, right? Showing up every day, having a good attitude, exercising, putting in the work, being a good person, like these things, the rest of it will take care of itself. That way, when you do have something big come into your life that is a positive and it works out, it's that much more beneficial. But what's a hard thing to say is, well, I've done all those things. I've been consistent. I show up every day and I do all the things that I can control, and these things continue to happen. But even that mindset right there, they're happening it's not because of your actions. And frankly, it's not because of a lack of your actions. They just happen. Shit happens, right? So, what's the sense of trying to dictate terms on things that you can't control? Just like you can't control the weather, You can't control your quarterback getting hurt. You can't control these major roadblocks. But what you can do is be prepared. You can prepare yourself for bad things that are going to happen. So this all kind of funnels down to my big point is when life throws you these crazy, just unfortunate circumstances, you're able to not have to dwell on it because you're good, right? Whether that's financially good, whether that's, something happens to you and you're already unhealthy, so it's going to be really bad. Well, at least I was healthy, so then I can combat this. If there's a big blow, I live in South Florida. There's hurricanes all the time. Obviously, there's insurance, but things that, tangible things and everything, like, is your stuff insured? Do you have the financial backing if you lose your job for 6 months or a year? Are you able to, if you do have to move, or if you lose your job, like, are you good? If you have to move, do you have the financial stability that you can make that move? If something happens to a family member, like, are you good? Can you take care of them? You can't control what happens, but you can control how you deal with it. And how you deal with it is a lot more important than the thing that actually happened. So watching that game last night, it's crazy. I still can't believe what happened. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just like, even as a Packers fan, I'm like, it's wild. It's wild to see. It's unbelievable to see. I mean, nothing season ending, ever happened to Rodgers that had us scared. I mean, sure, he had his injuries and everything like that, but nothing crazy like this. So anyway, like, be prepared. Always be prepared. Do the work. Even if you're not seeing the progress, if you did the work, the progress will be there when you need it. So if you're a Jets fan, if you're a Green Bay fan, or whatever, any comments about Rodgers, leave below. I'm curious to see what you think. See you guys.